We have a cutoff date, which is October. So October 2025, my governing council has to decide whether we move forward or not. So that's an important date. My strong hope is that by then, the European Parliament has passed the legislation that will support the technological work, the policy work, the unified rule book that we are working on so that we can launch.
Hey, what's going on, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Today's news is about to hit you like a lightning bolt. Imagine this: the crypto world is buzzing, but something massive is brewing. New moves in Asia, a hidden crisis threatening your portfolio, and a game-changing shift for global banks that could flip the market upside down. Sounds intriguing, right? Well, here's the deal. Ripple's making waves with a bold new XRP product that's shaking up Asia, but there's a catch. A liquidity crisis is quietly gripping every blockchain, and it could affect your investments. Plus, analysts are saying Bitcoin could skyrocket soon, and a huge central bank move is coming in 2025. Stick with me because in the next few minutes, I'm breaking it all down for you with simple insights to keep you ahead of the curve. The crypto clock is ticking, and you don't want to miss any of this, trust me. The market waits for no one. Oh, and here's a little bonus for you. Stick with me until the end of this video. I'm going to give you a exclusive free ebook, The Crypto Secrets, that will take your game to the next level. Plus, we will be jumping over to X to find out all the breaking news that's happening in crypto today. We will also take a quick look at the XRP daily, weekly charts at the end of this video. We'll also be checking in on our short-term and long-term momentum waves. And we'll deep dive into Ripple takes Asia by storm. Every chain is an island, the crypto liquidity crisis. And with gold hitting new all-time highs, history shows Bitcoin follows. And so much more in today's video. So if you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day in the crypto news like we do for you here on this channel, make sure you subscribe today. And if you're feeling bullish about this current bull run, let me know by commenting 777 down below. But first things first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap and check out the overall health of the crypto market today. Currently sitting at $2.68 trillion total market cap, up 0.69%. And as you all know, we've been tracking this 2.77 trillion, basically 2.8 trillion, needing to break above that to change market structure on overall crypto market cap. After we break 2.8, then we can surge back to 3.0 trillion, $3 trillion total market cap, giving us more of a bullish market structure for us. Also, volume very low over the last 24 hours, only $43 billion. Fear and Greed Index coming in at 32. Last week was at 27. Yesterday also at 32. Altcoin Season Index still Bitcoin season. We're a 16 out of 100. Bitcoin dominance coming in at 62.9%, up 2.36%. The Bitcoin ETF tracker had a great end of the week last week, $106 million inflow into the Bitcoin ETFs. As a total for the week, it was only $11 million total net inflow, which is positive, as opposed to the week prior. Last week, we were down $717 million outflows. Week before that was outflows, $166 million. And then the week before that was inflows of 196. So it has been a back and forth battle in this ETF market for Bitcoin. The reason we track this is last time we saw a huge surge of inflows into Bitcoin was when price really rose to its all-time high. So we will continue to track that for you. And you are a genius for being here today. Don't forget to subscribe. Top 5 cryptos by total market cap. We have Bitcoin coming in at 1.6 trillion, Ethereum at 193 billion. Tether at number 3 at 144 billion, XRP at number 4 at 120 billion, BNB at number 5 at 82 billion, and then we'll cover Solana here at 71 billion. Heading over to X to find out the breaking news, $10 trillion Charles Schwab is set to offer Bitcoin and crypto services. Very, very big. Lots of normie people that want to be involved in crypto but are scared to own their own crypto can now invest through Charles Schwab. Very big deal. That will also help increase institutional money flow. We also have a post here from Cointelegraph. Barry Silbert, CEO of Digital Currency Group, said he would have made more by simply holding Bitcoin bought in the $7 and $8 range back in 2011 instead of investing in early crypto startups. He also called 99.9% of tokens worthless, stressing most have no reason to exist. New BlackRock continues to accumulate Bitcoin while most other ETFs show consistent net outflows. BlackRock continues to acquire. JP Morgan analysts report Bitcoin has failed to benefit from safe haven flows that are boosting gold. And we're going to cover more about gold and Bitcoin correlation. But gold's ETF saw 21.1 billion in Q1 of 2025 inflows, while Bitcoin faced declining futures interest and 3 straight months of ETF outflows despite previous correlation in trading. And big news for Ripple and XRP, Hashkey Capital is launching Asia's first XRP tracker fund with Ripple as an early investor. A Michael Saylor parody account is posting out that the Bitcoin MACD just flipped bullish. The bottom is likely in. Q2 rally loading, buckle up. And this is actually pretty interesting because there are some things lining up in the charts right now. Obviously, we have tons and tons of positive fundamental news, except for the fact that the tariff war, this, that, and the other. But other than that, as a whole, crypto has been getting really positive news, especially Ripple and the business developments behind it, fundamental news. But the charts are showing a potential move to the upside. As we showed you in the introduction, the new European Central Bank to launch the CBDC by October 2025. So they will be locking down their currency with a European Central Bank digital currency. Remember, we do not want that in the United States. We want independent stable coins rather than a nation state leading that. And big news in Japan, Ripple to make initial investment in Asia's first XRP investment product. Professional investors get exposure to XRP without directly holding the asset. Investors can purchase the fund with cash or in kind, and the fund is structured to accommodate. And that is, of course, with Hashkey Capital. And that brings us over to our first headline here today. First up, Ripple is making serious moves in Asia with the brand new XRP investment product. Post on X are buzzing about this, with some saying that it could reshape crypto portfolios across the region. And the reason that this is a big deal for all of us XRP holders and Ripple followers, Asia is a massive, massive market. Think billions of investors hungry for crypto. Ripple's launching this product to drive interest in XRP, which is built for fast, low-cost cross-border payments. And recent developments show Ripple has been cozying up with big players like potential partnerships with BlackRock, which we've been talking about on this channel for quite some time, and even acquiring Hidden Road, which just happened, which is a major firm handling trillions in transactions every single year. And this is exactly what I was talking about as far as XRP and Ripple really getting that strong fundamental news leading into this potential push. So this could boost XRP's adoption and liquidity, making it the go-to for banks and investors. But of course, here's the kicker. Ripple is still fighting that stupid legal battle with the SEC, now pushing it out 90 days. And any hiccups could definitely slow this momentum. And of course, if they pull this off, XRP's price could see serious liftoff in 2025. So keep an eye on this. It is a story, big risks, but even bigger rewards. Now let's talk about something flying under the radar, and that's crypto's liquidity crisis. You might be thinking, well, what's that? Well, every blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, operates like its own island. Moving money between them is slow, expensive, and sometimes impossible. The lack of interoperability is choking the market. And why do you think that should matter for you? Well, if you're trading or holding coins, low liquidity can mean big price swings and harder exits when that you want to cash out. And a lot of experts are warning that this could stall crypto's growth unless bridges between chains improve. Projects like Ripple's XRP and stablecoins are trying to fix this by acting as universal connectors, but we're not really there yet. This is why understanding the tech behind your investments matters. It could definitely save you from a rough ride. One of the fixes for this issue is integrating liquidity at the base layer. Integration at the base layer addresses liquidity fragmentation by embedding bridging and routing functions directly into the chain's core infrastructure. This approach appears in certain layer 1 protocols and specialized frameworks where interoperability is treated as a foundational element rather than an optional add-on. Validator nodes automatically handle cross-chain connections, so new chains or side networks can launch with immediate access to the broader ecosystem's liquidity. This reduces resilience on third-party bridges that often introduce security risks or user function. This is not just an Ethereum issue. While Vitalik Buterin's blog post focuses on Ethereum's rollups, fragmentation is ecosystem agnostic. Whether a project builds on an Ethereum virtual machine compatible chain, a WebAssembly-based platform, or something else, the fragmentation trap arises if liquidity is fenced off. Building interoperability directly into the blockchain infrastructure offers a clear path through this challenge. When protocols handle cross-chain connections automatically and route assets efficiently, developers can expand without splintering their use base or capital. Success in this model comes from measuring and improving how smoothly value moves throughout the ecosystem. And if this topic still eludes you a little bit as far as the bridging and the liquidity and the this and that, make sure you go down in the description and get our free ebook on crypto secrets. It's really going to help you understand and take your knowledge of crypto to the next level. But let's talk about one of the biggest fundamental issues going on with crypto right now, and that is the fact that gold continues to hit its new all-time highs, and historically, Bitcoin also follows along with it. Bitcoin price rallies within 150 days of gold hitting new all-time highs. The price of gold surged to $33.57 per ounce this past week, igniting speculation whether Bitcoin would follow as well. As you can see right here, pump has been continuous to the upside, while recently Bitcoin obviously having its pullback. In 2017, Bitcoin rallied to 19,000 after gold witnessed a 30% hike for a few months earlier. Similarly, gold reached new highs of 2,075 in 2020 during the COVID pandemic. And then, of course, Bitcoin surged to 69,000 in 2021. Bitcoin has historically surpassed its previous all-time highs whenever gold rallies, reflecting a dynamic relationship between the two assets during periods of economic uncertainty, which, as you know, we are definitely experiencing right now, and when investors look for a US dollar alternative. We've also been talking about the correlation between Bitcoin and the money supply, M2 money supply, very similar in the fact that Bitcoin runs typically a couple of weeks behind the M2 money supply. We're also seeing right here a 100-day lead time on Bitcoin versus gold. You can see we did have the pullbacks in the gold as well to this area here before surging up. Gold almost came back to 2,500 at the end of 2024. As we can see, Bitcoin has now pulled back into its current price range of 84,000 with the potential of making a rise as gold has already as well. Looking at data from past Bitcoin cycles, the power curve time contours, the analysts predicted that Bitcoin will enter a parabolic phase in the later half of 2025 with a price target of $400,000. Using the power law model, the analysts normalizing Bitcoin's market cap to gold and plotted Bitcoin on the logarithmic scale, measuring each Bitcoin in ounces of gold instead of dollars. And when you take a look at the graph here, you can see the green is where surge in prices come. It's happened numerous times over and over again, and we are in that surge right now. Obviously, price having a pullback, as we saw in the last market surge, and then making a huge push in the second half, had a surge, pullback, huge surge in the second half. This one was choppy, but also had a huge surge in the second half. So to recap, when gold hits new all-time highs, Bitcoin tends to follow within 150 days. And gold's been climbing lately, with gold and silver ratio hitting a 100-to-1 trading, signaling a market shift. Why does this matter for us, though? Well, Bitcoin's often called digital gold, and history shows it rides gold's coattails during bullish markets. If this pattern holds, we could see Bitcoin surge by mid-2025. For investors, this is a signal to watch gold prices closely. It's like a crystal ball for Bitcoin, but don't get too excited. Crypto's volatile and global events could throw everything off, but still this trend is definitely worth tracking. Speaking of tracking, let's head over to TradingView, take a look on the daily charts here for XRP. All right, first things first, our long-term momentum wave is still showing red, so we are still bearish as far as the long-term momentum indicator rolls. We are getting very close to surpassing the zero line and flipping it back to bullish. In fact, if we take a quick look over here at Bitcoin, it is literally at the zero line. So this is a make or break moment in the short term for crypto. If Bitcoin does break out and starts to following that path of the M2 money supply and also the gold charts to the upside, we should any day now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, start to see some real bullish momentum crossing over the zero line for Bitcoin, indicating we will have some money flow coming in, which in turn would be fantastic, because if we look here on our weekly chart, last time we had a nice big surge on our shaft trend cycle, Bitcoin had zeroed out. And then when it started making its move up back to the top of its cycle is when we got a rise from 64,000 all the way up to its all-time high. We are in that same scenario. Bitcoin has reset to zero. The weekly charts are bullish. we could see a return to the upside, and we will know that in 1 day and 7 hours if this candle does continue to close in the green, which it is right now. So we're watching the weekly charts there, and in correlation with that, we have XRP, same thing, bullish on the weekly. Short-term momentum wave has reset. However, right now we're in the red for this weekly chart. So that would not be beneficial for us on our shaft trend cycle. We need to see this flip to green. We need to see the surge back up, really breaking above $2.25. Current resistance is $2.25. Current support is $1.90. If we break $2.25, we'll be able to run up to the $2.50 level. Then we are going to encounter some resistance here on our previous support from our symmetrical triangle that is now turned into resistance. And that should come into us at about $2.65. Now, when all of that happens, price action starts to make its way to these levels, we will then have seen a reset to the upside of our shaft trend cycle. Last time we saw that on XRP, it was here, November 4th, the very first week of November, we started seeing the momentum move to the upside, and it continued all the way through to its new all-time highs. Taking a look here on the 12-hour chart, a little smaller time frame for you, we can see we did break above the zero line for a moment, retesting back up below it. Now it is extremely important for us to continue this momentum to the upside. If we lose this momentum and we drop back into the zero line to the downside, you can see what happened last time. We then start recoiling back to the $1.90 level. So higher time frame, weekly looking bullish on XRP and Bitcoin right now. Daily still in bearish territory, and this 12-hour needs to flip back to the upside or we likely will start to drop again. So the next 24 to 48 hours, very important in the crypto markets. Obviously, it's usually very boring on the weekends for crypto. And in reality, we don't even want to see a huge surge on the weekends because the actual futures gap that happens will be filled to either side. Hey, bull runners, are you feeling FOMO about this bull run without the right financial support? We're here to change that. We're not just about funding, we're about growing your business together. Whether you're investing in crypto, kicking off a new startup, managing your existing business, or looking to expand, we have personalized funding that meets your exact needs. Imagine starting your business or getting capital to invest $100,000 to $250,000 at 0% interest. That's not a dream, it's what we do. We've helped countless entrepreneurs like you with 0% interest funding without needing personal funds, income verification, or collateral. With just a 680 credit score, you qualify. We understand that your business can't wait, so take advantage of our quick funding approach. We look beyond the credit score with inclusive approval process that sees the big picture of your business or investment potential. Our flexible repayments are tailored to match your business cycles, ensuring you can manage repayments without strain. With access to our extensive lending network of over 5,000 options, we're committed to finding the perfect match for your business or investing needs. Plus, you'll have our dedicated team by your side, guiding you through every step of the funding journey. Whether it's buying crypto, hiring new employees, or launching a new product, we're committed to your success. Click the link to connect with our expert advisors and secure your business's future now.